This is a Bigjigs wooden railway RH and DR Typhoon engine model. The Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Railway, Arhan DR, is a 15-in, 381mm gauge light railway in Kent, England, operating steam and internal combustion locomotives. The 13 plus 1/2 mile, 21.7 kilometers, line runs from the Cinque Port of Hythe via Dymchurch, St. Mary's Bay, New Romney and Romney Sands to Dungeness, close to Dungeness Nuclear Power Station and Dungeness Lighthouse. The railway was the dream of millionaire racing drivers Captain John Edwards Presgrave, Jack, Howie and Count Louis Zborowski. The latter had constructed a railway at Hyam Park, his home at Bridge, Kent, and agreed to donate the rolling stock and infrastructure to the project. However, he was killed on October 19, 1924 in a motor racing accident at the Monza Grand Prix before the Romney Marsh site was chosen, and Howie continued the project alone. After Howie had unsuccessfully attempted to buy the Ravenglass and Eskdale Railway and extend it, he investigated a greenfield site between Burnham-on-Sea and Weston-super-Mare in Somerset and offered to buy the Hundred of Manhood and Selsey Tramway in Sussex. Henry Greenley drew Howie's attention to the potential for a 15-inch gauge line between New Romney and Hythe. Howie first visited New Romney on September 8, 1925, and decided there and then that it was an ideal location for his proposed railway. The railway would cross public highways and would need to acquire land from a number of different owners. Thus a light railway order under the Light Railways Act 1896 was necessary and was applied for in November 1925. A public inquiry was held by the Light Railway Commissioners in the Assembly Rooms at New Romney on the 15th and the 16th of January 1926. The Minister of Transport indicated his intention to approve the application on February 19, 1926, and the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Light Railway Order 1926 was made on May 26. This incorporated the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Light Railway Company as a statutory public utility undertaking, gave it powers to construct and work the proposed railway, and also included compulsory purchase powers over the land required, which ultimately had to be used to acquire 6 plots of land on the proposed route. During construction, the Duke of York, later King George VI, visited the railway on August 5, 1926 and drove the Northern Chief, hauling a train with about 100 passengers from Jesson Halt to New Romney and back. The railway was opened on July 16, 1927 by Lord Warden of the Cinque Ports, William Lygon, 7th Earl Beauchamp. The locomotives were designed by Henry Greenley, who was commissioned by Howie to work on the construction of the entire railway, and became the railway's first chief engineer until his abrupt resignation in March 1929. Mountain-class Hercules hauled the inaugural train from Hythe to New Romney, with guests including the mayors of the two towns and General Sir Ivor Max. Howie was not satisfied with just 8 plus 1/4 miles, 13.3 kilometers, of track from Hythe to New Romney, and plans were in hand for an extension even before the original section had opened. The line was to be extended 5 plus 1/2 miles, 9 kilometers, from New Romney to Dungeness, double track throughout apart from a balloon loop on which the station at Dungeness was sited. A light railway order for this extension was applied for, and, following a public inquiry on April 18, 1928, the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Light Railway extension order was granted on July 12, 1928. Ahead of this, the line between New Romney and the pilot had actually opened on May 24, 1928, and the rest of the line through to Dungeness opened on August 3, 1928. Since it was laid directly onto the shingle forming the Dungeness Peninsula, it has been suggested that the extension was the most cheaply constructed railway in the world. From 1926 to 1978, the Arhan DR held the title of the smallest public railway in the world in terms of track gauge. The title was lost to the 12 plus 1/4 in, 311mm gauge Réseau Giraldin in France in 1978 and regained in 1979 when that line closed. It was lost again in 1982 when the 10 plus 1/4 in, 260mm gauge Wells and Walsingham Light Railway opened. The railway has featured in several television and radio shows, including an episode of the BBC series The Inspector Lindley Mysteries in 2006. Harry Seckham's Highway on September 8, 1991. Michael Bentine's It's a Square World in 1964. BBC's Multicolored Swap Shop, filmed on February 20, 1978, and children's show Rainbow. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel.